We are out on this expedition to discover the 100 most iconic and unique motorcycles in India,
which define the face of Indian motorcycling.
This is Indian 0 to 100 motorcycles.
A true bike lover deserves to experience every good motorcycle at least once in his life. The problem is, not all good bikes exist today. Fortunately for us, manufacturers are resurrecting certain iconic motorcycles from the past that helped shape their present. Case in point, the Indian Scout, one of the most popular and successful American cruisers, which was made from 1920 to 1949. And it has been brought back to life last year with the all-new 1130cc liquid-cooled V-twin engine.
It's always heartening to see vintage motorcycles being reintroduced in the modern era by motorcycle companies. In fact, people like me who are the current generation, they have not even haven't seen or ridden a lot of motorcycles which are actually vintage and were sold obviously a long time ago. One of these motorcycles is right behind me as the new Indian Scout. But they have retained an overall design philosophy and of course the name. Now this bike is iconic because of a couple of reasons, which one of them is that it was one of the most successful motorcycle that was sold during the World War II. And second, you might already be knowing, is that Burt Munro, he set a land speed record on this bike in 1967. And not only that, he set it on a 40-year-old Indian Scout at the Bonneville Salt Lake Flats. Now isn't that amazing?
A record which stands to this day. The feat immortalized the bike and changed the image of Indian motorcycles forever. The new Scout produces 100 bhp of power and 97.7 Nm of torque, which peaks out at about 5,900 rpm.
Talking about speed, let's talk about some numbers. Now this bike is around 250 kgs, goes to 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds, and it has a maximum lean angle of around 31 degrees, which actually makes it the superbike of cruisers.
Of course, it reminds us of the original Scout, but is thoroughly modern. You will appreciate the design details as you notice that the radiator's housing is an extension of the aluminum frame. It keeps the styling of the bike clean. We have had a wonderful time astride the new Scout, and it is indeed a great motorcycle to keep. From the heroic Scout, we now present the ultra-fast sport tourer from Ducati, the Multistrada.
So what we have here is the 2015 1200S Multistrada. It's quite different between the first Multistrada that was launched years ago as the 1000 DS, one of the most tedious looking bikes that I've come across, but it actually successfully launched another category of motorcycles, which is adventure sport touring.
The biggest highlight of the new Multistrada is the liquid-cooled 1198cc L-twin engine, taken from the 1198 Superbike. Of course, it is retuned for better street manners and produces 160 PS of power and 136 Nm of torque.
But it's also got technology like the DVT, which is Desmodromic variable timing, which is the only dual valve technology in the head of a motorcycle currently in production. So that means that the torque can also vary, depending on your riding style. It's also got features like TFT color screen. It's got the Ducati multimedia pack, using which you can connect your phone and download all sort of data like lean angle and average speed and all these kind of things. And then you also got traction control and ABS obviously. Then you got full LED headlights with the banking adjustments. For example, if you're leaning the motorcycle, the headlights will turn the other way so that it illuminates the way forward in a curve. It's got all these kind of things. Plus obviously it's in Italian, plus it sounds fantastic, especially over 4000 RPM, and plus it's a Ducati.
The Multistrada 1200 is like a comfortable superbike, and that makes it an extremely practical and versatile sports bike to ride in the city, on a highway, and even on a racetrack.
It's one of my favorites because I've got a lot of history, a lot of riding history with it, which started in 2012. The first time I rode the Multistrada was actually on a very big ride from Dubai to Italy for the World Ducati Week 2012. And this is where my journey started with Ducati Multistrada, and now it's practically become a family member.